Okay, welcome back to Menace under Otari. We are perhaps around 2/3 of the way through this, on the second floor of this little dungeon. Not that little. We just finished a pretty ridiculous fight against the fucking Cinder Rat, and based on some other comments I read, it seems like plenty of people hate the Cinder Rat. So, yeah, fuck that thing. Health-wise, we're all doing okay. I mean, we're perfectly fine. Valeros is missing 1 health. So that's fine. He, otherwise, his shield is a little busted. And, Ezrin is now missing, he doesn't have his spells. So no Force Barrage, but that's not that huge. Kira doesn't have any heals left, but she still has Breathe Fire. And Mauricio, obviously, is fine. So, I thought about going back to rest, but I think that's a little cowardly. We'd have to just go, like, sit around town for the rest of the day and blah, blah, blah. We'd lose these new buffs. So instead, we're just going to do a repair as an action. So, repair. Actually, that's assuming he has a repair kit. Probably does not. He does not. Valeros does. Okay. So let's, I don't know why Valeros has it. Let's hand that over. And basically, Ezrin just needs to roll a crafting check and hit DC 14. That's what we decided. So we're just going to roll crafting. +7. Right, so I added a few new modules, including actual dice from Dice So Nice. So there you go. We'll see how annoying that is. But we got a 20. Which is not a crit, it's just a normal success, but it restores 5 + 5 for being trained. So 10 health to his shield. Back up to 19. Good enough. Okay. With that, we can continue onward towards this this horrible stench. What's up here? We go this way. We hear something. There's an overpowering stench in this chamber, like rotten fish mixed with oily sweat. The warm, humid air only adds to the foul atmosphere. Unlike the previous chambers, this one appears to be a natural cavern, dotted with limestone stalactites and stalagmites, making it hard to see where the room ends. Each player needs to roll a DC 19 Fortitude save as soon as they enter the room. Hero fails is sickened until they spend an action to retch. Great. Okay, I see a nat 1. Okay, did that it bumped it? Wait, what? What? No. Okay. Critical failure. No, okay. Good. I was like, still a critical failure, but I don't think that matters in this case. So, yeah, people are sickened. Ezrin and Mauricio both sicken until they puke it up. Okay, and we kind of surprised these. So there's Zolgaths. I had to look that up. They're basically troglodytes. This is the new troglodyte. I don't know if it's new. Maybe it's always been Zolgath in Pathfinder, but yeah. So they are visible, of course. We all roll perception initiatives. Probably you could be a little further in here. This is the point where we kind of surprise them. Okay. And roll for everybody. Nothing unusual here. Plenty of dice being rolled. Yeah, see this, this is unnecessary. But there you have it. Okay, and we may begin the encounter. The Zolgaths start off seated without their weapons drawn, so they have to stand as an action, and until they do, they're off guard, and they also have to spend an action to draw their clubs. So we've got this guy right here. He's going to stand for his first action. He's going to draw his club for his second action. And I mean, they have javelins. I feel like that's a smarter move at this point. So he'll stand, he'll draw his javelin, and then he'll chuck it at Valeros. Okay, hit for sure. 1d6 plus 4 damage. 9 damage. Okay, first of all, I would say that those dice are really fucking ugly. So I don't know how pretty we can make these. Like rainbow. That's better. I'll give you that. That's better. Okay, we'll go with rainbow. Alright, so that was his turn. He's standing. It's all good. Let's actually mark these two as off guard. Maristiel's gonna go. She is sickened. I don't know if she wants to spend a turn to puke right now when she could capitalize. So let's see, 5, 10. Okay, I can't move with my arrow keys anymore for some reason. One of the modules must have changed that. Okay, 5, 10, 15, 20. And then she's just gonna strike. Yeah. Okay. That is a hit against his shitty 12 AC right now. So damage with sneak attack. It's 10 damage. Pretty solid. Okay, and then she'll strike a second time, of course. Almost certainly... Oh, no, just barely missing, unfortunately, due to sicken. So this is another mod called Modifiers Matter, where it actually highlights +1s or -1s if they actually made the difference between hitting or missing or whatever. So it highlighted that sicken. Because had she not been sickened, she would have hit there. But, you know, it was worth it overall. Alright, Kira. Let's breathe fire. This is 5. This is 15. This is 20. That's probably good. It has to originate in my square. Now, I don't know if that means I have to place this in her square, or if the first green square has to be in her square. Probably the green square has to be in her square. Right? I think that makes sense. Because the effect doesn't start 5 feet in front of her. It starts on her. But at the same time, she's not affected by it. Now I need to confirm. Hold on. Okay, so here's... No, that is incorrect based on this sort of chart. A 15-foot cone has 1 square in front of you being affected, and then 6 squares past that. So they would be this. This is the correct template. Yes, so I added an animation mod. That's pretty cool. And we will select them, roll reflexes. Ooh, and that one. Nice. Okay, well, you got the whole gamut there. Let's roll our damage. Okay. I wish there was an easy way to sort of correspond these automatically. Automagically. But, oh, you could just do the... Okay. So I guess you could just roll damage first and then roll the reflexes from here. That'd probably be easier. Okay, so... Let's see. This guy... This one rolled a success. This one. Okay, so he takes half. The failure is the top one. So he takes damage. And then the crit failure is the middle one. So he takes double damage, I think. If I recall. Critical failure, you take double the damage, yeah. Double. 18 damage. Nearly dead. That was a good flame. We can all appreciate that flame. Okay, done. So that was her whole turn, because that was 2 actions. Alright. So, this warrior will then stand, removing off guard. He then will draw his club, and will then swing his club. He could also claw, but he wants the club. Miss. He rolled a 3. Okay, well, that's his turn. The other one will stand, removing off guard. He'll draw his javelin, and he'll chuck it at Kira. Also a miss. Damn. These troglodytes are shit-ass. Okay, Valeros is going to just step over. And he's going to strike. That is going to be a hit. Not much, but enough. Dead. Then he'll try and strike this one as well. Miss. Oh well, we tried. Missed by 1. Okay, Ezrin He's going to have to move in. 5, 15, 20. And he's going to use probably telekinetic projectile. Bludgeoning. Critical miss. Ah, well. Ones are gonna happen. Mauricio is gonna go. She will... I think we're counting these rocks as obstacles, so she's gonna go 5, 15, 20. No ops, baby. We're in a land of no ops. She's going to puke with one action, so she'll get rid of sickened, and then she will stab. Critical hits. Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Look at this damage now. Oh, 26 damage. Good God. The thing of beauty. Okay. Kira has her crossbow out right now. So to switch, she'd have to... She'd have to spend one action to just swap, I think, to her scimitar, which wouldn't bring out her shield. Then she'd have to move, and then she'd have to attack. Chances of that all happening and being of any use, pretty slim. So I think we're just going to shoot and reload and call it a day. And miss. So I will reload and then fuck it, shoot again. You never know. You never know. Things could happen. Okay, well, it gets to go, and it specifically says they fight to the death. It threw its javelin, so it's going to draw its club with one action. And that might provoke an op. Because you can do the op on a manipulate action. And I need to find out... Again, I probably could just look this up in Foundry. Interact is a manipulate action. So yes, as he draws his club, Valeros does get to swing. Hit. For not much damage, but there you go. Okay, he drew his club though. And now he's going to swing with the club. That is a hit. No doubt about it. Or also not much damage. But Valeros is feeling it. For his third attack, his action, he's going to swing with his other claw. His left hand. 19. Also a hit. 1d4 plus 4. Eesh. Valeros almost dead. That was a good turn for that guy. Okay, Valeros not having it. Gonna swing. Crit. Call it a day. Call it a fucking day. 10 damage. Dead. End encounter. 120 XP to everybody. See, it counts that as a severe encounter. But obviously, extenuating circumstances and stuff, such as them all starting seated without their weapons drawn, is kind of a factor. Alright, so we can't treat his wounds. Kira can't heal him. She's got nothing left in the tank. So now it's not looking so good. We could drink the healing potion, but that's 1d8, which could very well be 1. So, yeah, I mean, we could just sit around here for a while. Let's, Okay, I mean, I'm tempted to go rest. Kira having no heals, him being that low, it's a little rough. So, we're going to go topside. We're going to wait out his debuff. The treat wound immunity. And then we're going to have her treat wounds again. Treat wounds. Okay, just barely succeeded. So that's 7 health. And then if we do treat for the total of 1 hour, we double the hit points. So we're going to heal for 7 and another 7 after another. So that was like 2 hours we spent topside. Is that good enough? Are we happy with 17? Or should I wait another hour? Yeah, probably. We're not resting for a whole day, so we're just going to spend like 3 hours or so. So we'll get rid of this again. We're going to have her do this again. Nice. And heal him for another 9. Okay. So after that, we'll come back down here now. We still have these other buffs, which hopefully I will remember to use at some point. Ezrin will now vomit, of course, at some point and all that. And we're good to go. There is also treasure here, some gold. And it doesn't really matter who gets it, so... Alright. Two passages lead out of this room, other than the way the heroes came in. One leads off the map, heading steadily down deep into the earth. This tunnel leads into the Darklands, a vast subterranean realm deep underground, filled with all sorts of deadly creatures and sinister monsters. This is where the Zulgaths came from, but it's beyond the scope of this adventure. If the heroes travel down this way, tell them that after an hour of travel they see no sign of the creatures that broke into the fishery and should probably turn back before getting hopelessly lost. The Darklands are for more experienced adventurers, and the player should explore the surface more before delving into these lightless realms. I guess that's the new name for the Underdark, I suppose? Probably? Yeah, I would think so. The other passageway exiting this room looks like it was dug recently. This tunnel curves up and around before ending in a thin wall of loose stones and dirt. Okay. I think this sound effect actually stopped. A tiny hole in the wall allows creatures to look into Area 17 beyond. If a hero peeks through the wall, they can see the kobolds in that area going about their daily routines. Okay, so we see these kobolds. If they spend time listening to the kobolds chatter, the heroes overhear a few phrases, including, "When we stole the egg," and "more fish for the pet." A hero who wants to break open this wall can attempt a DC 20 athletics skill check. On a success, they break down the wall. Well, hell yeah. I mean, of course we're gonna bust through a fucking wall. We're boss man. Let's do it. Fuck. On a failure, the wall remains intact, and the kobolds in the Kobold Warren notice the sound and prepare for a fight. That is a bummer. But we're going to try again. We're breaking through this wall one way or another. Okay, there you go. That's right, motherfuckers! Okay. So, we can kind of skip some of this time. But as the wall falls, the smell of rotten fish and mold wafts out. On the west side of this vast room is a large table with benches on either side. Old food scraps, dirty knives, and broken plates cover the table. Off to the east side, burrows have been dug into the wall to make small sleeping chambers filled with straw mats. This must be the kobolds' warren. Yes. Yeah, okay. So they're just kind of here prepared for our attack. So there you go. Says they don't focus on any one character. Some of them may try to flank, others use unconventional tactics. While fighting, they boast of their mighty lineage and combined power, assuring the soft-skinned heroes that they'll surely come to regret trespassing into the kobolds' domain. However, they remain just as cowardly as the kobolds the heroes have already defeated in these caverns. Unlike all the foes the heroes have faced so far, the last remaining kobold tries to surrender. So you actually should not have anything else surrender up until this point, I suppose. Okay, unconventional tactics. They use a variety of tricks. A kobold in one of the sleeping chambers can spend one action to pull a sleeping mat off the floor and hide behind it, granting it cover. It's probably not going to come into play. A kobold adjacent to the table can spend an action to pick up a scrap of rotting meat and throw it at a hero within 20 feet, causing the hero to be sickened until they spend an action to clean the gross food off. Or oil attack. The chest contains 3 jars of slippery oil. You have to open the chest, grab, and throw one of the jars of oil. If it hits, the hero and the square they're in are coated in slippery oil. Every time a hero strides, he must attempt an acrobatic skill check, falling over on a failure. And anyone who moves through a square covered in oil must attempt an acrobatic skill check. If they fail, they stop moving and fall. Okay, I think we have all our rules in place. This is going to be the encounter. Except for... No, that's correct. Good. Well, let's roll for everybody. Yup. Now, you could make the argument, and I think the system sort of encourages stuff like this, is that as Valeros bursts down this fucking wall and he's like roaring in rage, you know, he could be allowed to roll like intimidation for his initiative instead, with the idea that if he comes off as really, you know, intimidating in his entrance, that might give him an edge to allow him to go first because they're all a little intimidated. I believe that's how the system is intended to work, stuff like that. Now in this case, his intimidation score sucks, so he would not prefer to do that. But if you had a skill that was higher than your perception, you might try and finagle to try and get that to be used for your initiative instead. Again, I think that's how the system works, because Marissil, her perception is 7, and I don't think her stealth is going to be higher than that. No, it's also 7, but if she uses stealth or deception for initiative, everything's off guard that goes slower than her on the first turn. Alright, let's begin the encounter. First kobold warrior stepping up. He might delay, actually. He might wait for them to come in a bit. Wait for Valeros to do something quite foolish. I guess, if they're a little smarter than the average monster. Or the average animal. They might wait a second. So he'll delay. And Valeros will go in instead. Valeros is not smarter than the average animal. So he's going to go 5, 15, 20, 25. He could sudden charge, actually. I mean, I would have had to have declared that first, but yeah, he could have sudden charge. Alright, we'll do that. So he'll actually get here, and then he'll swing. Critical miss. Awesome. And then he'll raise his shield. Okay, now that other Kobold Warrior is gonna go. So he'll go then. And this guy... We could get some oil on Valeros. We could also get some food on Valeros. Sure, this guy will move back here. And he'll... spend an action with a +5 strike to throw food. So I guess just use this. That is a hit. Just barely, but it is a hit. So we're going to put the Sicken condition on Valeros until he wipes it off. Then with his second action, he could throw his spear, but it's going to be at a +0 now. But I don't know what else he's really going to do. But he only has one spear, so it's not really a smart plan. So I guess he'll just move 5, 10, 15. There's a chest there. No, he's not going to do that. 5, 10, 15. I guess he'll go there. Okay, Ezrin. Yeesh. This is 5, 15, 25. Probably has an action here. But we don't have much. We have Force Bolt, which will do like 5 damage. Or less. So I'm better off just shooting a telekinetic projectile at this guy. That is going to be a hit. Good. Roll damage. Oh, double 6s. Hell yeah. Killed him. Domed him. Dude, where's our combat music? This is ridiculous. Yes, and if I were better with Foundry, we would have this all kind of like in playlists or something like that. But here's some generic D&D battle music. Way too loud. Okay, let's turn down playlist here. Okay. So that was good. We killed one. We got another Kobold Warrior stepping up. There isn't much flanking that can happen. He's kind of boxed him out. They do have acrobatics though, so they might try and tumble through. So let's do a tumble, which I believe is acrobatics versus reflex. Certainly like looking all this stuff up. Never gets old. Tumble through. Acrobatics against reflex. Yes. He rolled a 1. And he attempted a move action. So Valeris could swing out, but he might prefer to shield block, because there's going to be a lot of other kobolds trying to hit him. So he's going to hold off on that reaction. Actually, critical failure on a tumble is not going to be good for him. Nope, there is no critical failure penalty. Okay, then that's that. So then he'll just try and smack him with his spear, which is a miss. And then this, he pretty much has to roll a 20. She did not. Okay, that's that. Kira. 5, 15, 25. Wait a minute. 5, 10, 20, 25. That's correct, I believe. Spellcasting, basically we've got nothing left. She's just a very shitty crossbow person at this point. So she's going to spend her second action to fire off a crossbow shot. Critical miss. And then she'll reload. Okay, this guy. He's also going to attempt a tumble. It's acrobatics. Also, big failure. He might do it again, though. That second attack. That second attack is really shitty, you know? So he might be better off either trying to trip him or trying to tumble through. Alright, yeah, he'll attempt to tumble through again. Okay, 17 versus reflex. That does beat it. So he can move here. Again, Valeris could just smack him. And if he kills him, he cuts off all the flanks that might occur. So I think he will use reactive strike in that case. Critical miss. Fucking hell. That's 2 1s he's rolled in this room. This is a shitty room. Okay, well, he's got 1 action left, this guy. He does not actually get a flank on this attack, but he sets it up for somebody else. Okay, so that's a miss. That's good. This Kobold Warrior will move here, and he will attack. Aha, hit. Yeah, 17 AC right now. It would be 20. But he's sickened because of the nasty food, so that lowers it by 1. And then he's flanked, so down to 17. Risky stuff. And that's sneak attack damage. Boom. Then the guy is actually going to step off to allow others to step in. Mauricio, we gotta solve this problem. 5, 15, 20, 25. Then yeah, I guess she'll just move up here. And if we flank this guy, she might be able to just put him down real quick. $17 is a hit, and that will be a kill, almost certainly. Oh yeah. Okay, good. That helps a lot. Yeah, it's a very fun, interesting combat system they've come up with. I'll say that. Yeah, they've lost the flank opportunity here, which is a factor. He may try and trip him, but they have a +1 on their trip attempt. It's not really great. He might also attempt the tumble through. Because there's only one other warrior that they can set up with. Alright, he'll also attempt it. So, tumble through action, you stride up to your speed, and during the movement, you can attempt to move through an enemy. If you fail, though, the movement ends. So, he'll go, he'll go here. No, he has to... No, he can't move diagonally through that. So, yeah, he'll be here, and he'll attempt his acrobatics. Okay, failed. So he stops there. Yeah, he'll try one more time. This isn't an attack roll or anything, so there's no penalty to trying it multiple times. That is a success, so he's here. And then he'll do his third attack, action to try and hit him. Close, but no cigar, thanks to the shield. So yeah, had he not had his shield raised, that would have been a hit right there. Okay, last Kobold Warrior is, of course, going to move into position. Smack him. Critical miss. Unfortunate for him. Thank goodness. He will try again, though. Oh, so close to that 18. Although, I don't know, you know, obviously, in reality, it was not close to an 18. Because it's a random number generator. But, yeah, that's good for Valeros. He took a risky position there, and they tried everything they could to get him down, but he stood strong. Okay, it's his turn. He's going to spend his first action to take advantage of this flank that we've got going on. Why not? Wow, you rolled a 5. Still hit, thanks to the flank. Whoa. 7 damage to Kobold Warrior is enough to kill him. Okay. For his second action, he could just swing a second time from this position. Honestly, this position's not bad. It's kind of working out. So, he could alternatively wipe the shit off him and then raise his shield if he didn't want to swing a second time. But this is Valeros we're talking about. He's going to swing. And he's going to hit. Barely. But a hit is a hit. And a kill is a kill. Boom. Valeros! Okay, his third action will be to raise his shield again. Okay, Ezrin, 5, 15, and then he'll target this. Now, as per the rules, I believe this guy will have +1 AC against this attack. But that's fine. Let's do a piercing shot, a sharp rock through his brain. So we'll do -1. Which was a miss. And yeah, it didn't make a difference. Okay, this Kobold Warrior, ooh boy. They don't have much options left. Could try to tumble through, I suppose. That's what they're doing. They're doing the tumble shit. He missed. He'll try a second time. He missed. Then he'll try to just hit him. And fail. Critical miss. Yep. Shame, shame. Kira, oh, I don't know. She'll move here. And she'll fire her crossbow at this thing, which again should have a -1 to it. The -1, if there's a person between you and your target, that counts as lesser cover or something. So it's +1 to their AC. And then she'll reload her crossbow. We've got this guy, so now he can't tumble through to get any sort of flank happening. So there's not a whole lot he could do. And they only have one spear. So if he throws it, that's the end of that. But then he could claw. Theoretically? Actually, I mean... No, I guess not. They're entirely dependent on their spears. So I guess he'll move here and just make some desperate last-ditch efforts. Pretty close, but that shield raise, man, it's very good. Yeah, and obviously that's nothing. Mauricio, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Right there. Easy peasy. And a miss, unfortunately. She'll do it again, though. A miss. Ooh, rough turn for her. Whoops, 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 whoops. There we go. But we've set up the flank, and that's all that really matters. Valeros is going to chop this thing to little bits. Yep. Hitting on a 5 or higher is pretty nice. Hitting on a 5 or higher against a creature. Okay, they're not the same level. They're actually -2 levels. But still, during a severe encounter, either way, hitting on a 5 or higher is nice. Alright, that's dead for his second action. He'll swing wildly just for the fuck of it. And he'll hit because he's a boss. And that is going to be the encounter. Oh, no, that one was surrendering. That's always the tricky thing as a DM. He's like, oh, wait, no. No, that one was surrendering. For our purposes, it doesn't really matter. It's meant to teach the players about, more social interactions. And how they don't have to slaughter everything they come across. So, he grovels for his life. If they agree to spare him, he promises to leave and never return, but he's also willing to share secrets in exchange for gold. And it gives very specific numbers, and I don't know if he's meant to say, like, oh, give me 10 gold, and I will tell you what I know. Or, is the DM just supposed to say those numbers to the players? Or are you just supposed to, like, see what they give him, and then if it's that amount? I can't imagine any player, or practically any player, just handing over 20 gold pieces to a kobold, hoping that there's something good out of it. That's quite a bit of money at this point. I don't think that players are ever going to give shit to a kobold for, like, a little bit of information. The information's really not that useful. The only thing that could be worth it is that you get bonus XP if he tells you about the dragon and stuff. But you can also roll a diplomacy skill check to try and get him to tell you that way, or you can bully him with an intimidation skill check. Let's see. I guess probably... Probably... Yeah. Kira's diplomacy. The kind-hearted cleric will try to talk to this little kobold. And convince him. Okay, she rolled an 8. So he just says, fuck you, lady, pay me. So then, I don't know. We don't really have any intimidation. This is, of course, where I would start torturing it. But we will have Mauricio try and intimidate it without getting into the torture aspect. Aha! Crit! 21! Yes! Awesome. So we learn that Boss Zolgren is the big leader of the mighty kobolds. She has powerful magics to roast you alive. She's very angry all the time and demands much from her servants, especially now that we have a powerful new friend. The friend is a dragon and a blessing from the gods, a sign that kobolds are destined to return to the surface and conquer the pathetic human town. As soon as the hatchling is all grown, we'll rise up to take what is ours. Okay, so we end the encounter. Everybody gets 120 XP. And then also... we have a moderate accomplishment for 30 more. Did I get my XP for the troglodyte fight? Yes, I did. Okay. Making sure, you know, XP is important here. 940 out of 1,000. We're very close. If we want to level up before the big boss battle, we would have to go do this statue. Which I guess we could. Okay, so each kobold here is wearing a copper and eggshell necklace like those found in kobold lookouts. And there's also this chest. So there's 3 pints of oil, a marvelous miniature ladder, an exceptionally small replica of a real creature or object. Activating it causes it to transform into another creature or object, which can then be used as normal for that object. Okay, so once activated, this permanently becomes a 20-foot long wooden ladder. That's pretty nice, actually. That's a pretty cool item. I'll have to remember that one. Alright, it's more healing potions, some oil, some various goods, a painting of an adventure on a horse, some silver pieces, crystal decanter of sour wine. Sure, there you go. Alright. I still have not used my special abilities. I keep forgetting about that. But now, Valeros will, of course, get rid of that food all over him. We're doing fairly good on health. Enough to take on this next encounter. While much of this rectangular chamber is in ruins, the center contains a fountain of pristine water, with something glittering at the bottom. In the middle of the fountain is a marble statue of a mermaid, her lips pursed as if she were about to blow a kiss, or maybe whistle. Each corner of the pool has some sort of mechanism embedded in the stones, but the one in the southwest corner appears to be smashed. Okay. Hold on, let me turn off the combat music now. When the heroes enter the room, ask each player to roll a DC 20 perception check. Do that. It's not looking good. That's not looking good. There you go. Valeros, the man, the myth, the legend. He does notice the trap before setting it off. So the area, I guess, around the trap, around the fountain, is the trap. So if anyone steps onto those squares, it will activate it. And so it's a complex trap, works like a monster, so you go into initiative and all that. On its turn, the statue in the middle of the fountain spins around, shooting a stream of high-pressure water from its mouth. The heroes can overcome this trap in a variety of ways. If someone notices it before it goes off and everyone avoids the square adjacent to the fountain, they can safely bypass the trap. Okay, if the heroes bypass the fountain, disable it or destroy it, award each hero 80 XP. Well, there's our 80 XP then. not very exciting. Not very exciting at all. Otherwise, once it goes off, you can try and disable the control mechanisms located at each corner of the pool, spending 2 actions to attempt a DC 20 thievery skill check, or trying to just physically destroy them. With each corner having hardness 8 and 15 health. So every time you hit one of these things, which has an 18 AC already, so it's already hard to hit, and when you do hit it, you subtract 8 from any damage you do. And you have to do 15 health, and you have to do that 3 times. Like, that is a bitch way to do it. So obviously, you want to depend on Marisol to make some thievery skill checks. I'm pretty sure she's the only one with any amount of thievery. Ezrin actually has +5 thievery, so he could attempt it and succeed 25% of the time. But while you're doing it, you know, you're doing this on initiative, and on its turn, it's going to roll a 1d10. On a 1 through 4, it shoots water at a random target in the room. With +10 on its roll, 2d6 damage. Ow. 5 through 7, it sprays at a random corner. Oh no, each corner of the room still has a functioning corner mechanism. So it hits any creature adjacent to the corner mechanism, which you're probably going to be at if you're trying to take it down. Just automatically dealing 2d6 bludgeoning. Oh, a DC 15 reflex save. 8 through 9, it spins about, spraying half the room with water. So either the east half or the west half for the same amount. And then, if you roll a 10, targets everyone in the room. 2d6 bludgeoning, DC 15 reflex save. It's a decent chunk of damage. The average number on 2d6 is 7 damage. And, you know, Ezrin is not going to be able to survive too many of those. And with +10 on the attack roll, if it's single target, you know, you got crits in there as well, and oh boy. Yeah, so we're gonna just bypass it. We do miss out on the gold in the pool, which is 2 gold, 8 silver, 28 copper. But, you know, we get our 80 XP. Board. Major accomplishment. Ha-ha! Ha-ha! So, to level up, I don't know how easy it is on here. I don't know if there's like a quick little way to do it. But if we go to bump it up to level 2, Okay, it will kind of bump everything up for us. And then you subtract 1,000 from your XP. And you always... The number to get to the next level is always 1,000. And that's because of this sort of system. So monsters don't have, like, an XP value. Like in the olden times. Instead, you know, it's based on just the difficulty of the encounter. And that number is based on the creature level in comparison to the party level. So I think, like, a creature of the same level as the party is worth 20 XP or something like that. And then it scales from there, and then however many you put in the encounter. But and that number is all based around a 4-person party. So 4 creatures at the same level as the party is 80 XP. It's a moderate encounter, I believe. But that way, you know, with this system, the number you need is always 1,000. So it's pretty simple. Okay, so for level 2, you know, we bumped up health. He bumped up his AC. He bumped up basically all his saves, perception. I think anything you're proficient in has gotten bumped up by 1. So his attacks are now better. Things like that. Yeah, all these... Anything that's trained has gone up by 1. Trained or expert. And then you do get, at level 2, feats. I think you get a... Yeah, you get a class feat. And he apparently should have an ancestry feat that he didn't pick. So, yeah, I mean, if we wanted to go through, we could pick... You know, it has everything in here. It has everything you could possibly want. I think if we wanted to just pick stuff that's only in player core, and you skip out on anything that says dedication, because that's like multi-class. Okay, so if you do that, and say skip dedication, we just want fighters, and we just want level 2 stuff from the core rulebook, these are your options. So aggressive block, you can actually move. Or you can actually shove a creature when you use shield block, or cause it to become off guard until the start of my next turn. I think probably that's like... Probably that alone is already the best thing. Because we definitely... You know, we'd probably want something to do with shields. And there's not that many options. So I think we're just going to take aggressive block here and be happy with that. You also get a skill feat. I don't think we need to really go into this. I'm sure there's some stuff that we would care about, but... Yeah, whatever. We're happy just taking our class feat and getting the stat bump at this point. So let's bump up everybody and get you your class feat. Again, we'll skip multi-classing, go just for level 2 from the core rulebook, player core. Reactions are not really a problem at this point. You can take minor magic for some cantrips, but most of this stuff actually doesn't matter. I was looking at some of this stuff before this because I knew we were going to level up. And a lot of this doesn't really matter. Because if we crit something at this point, like, it's generally just dead. But sure, we'll take Unbalancing Blow. I doubt it'll come into play. Okay, Kira. 2. Spellcasters are also going to get new spells. Probably. More I don't know. That only depends if we rest, and we probably should go rest because of this. For Cleric. So we could take Versatile Font, which would let us prepare either harm or heal spells. Gain from Healing Font. Then we could do a little bit of more stuff. Communal Healing, if we heal a spell, if we use Heal to heal somebody, single creature, we can then choose another creature to basically heal, like, one. Not super interesting. Healing Hands, heal is D10s instead of D8s. That's pretty simple. Yeah, I mean, sort of generic healer cleric. We'll just take that and call it a day. And Ezrin. I didn't look at his. More cantrips. Oh, some meta magic. Counter spell, non-lethal spell. Who would pick such thing? Spellbook Prodigy. That's for learning spells. I don't know. None of his are too interesting, I gotta say. Yeah, I guess let's just say reach. It's not very interesting. And then, yeah, spell casting. Yes, so he does get. Should get an extra first level spell per day. I think. I don't know. It says on this chart, at second level, he should have 3 first level spells per day. But he already has 3. So unless one of these spells is free, which could very well be true. Very well could be true. Gain additional spells and spell slots from the curriculum taught at the school you attended. Right. He must be arcane, battle magic. Yes. Maybe. You also gain an extra spell slot at each spell rank for which you have wizard spell slots. You can prepare only spells from your school's curriculum in these extra slots. Okay. So that's where he gets the extra one. But we can add on another Force Barrage now. No? No, you're not going to let me? Yeah, I'm aware of that. 4. There you go. There you go. Good. Yeah. And the cleric probably should be somewhat similar. Actually, the cleric probably should get maybe more heals or something. I don't know how much we want to get into it. We just have a couple fights left. But they are the toughest fights in the whole place. She does not get any extra divine font. He does get 1 extra first level spell slot. So we can bump that up now to 3. And she could take, ooh, Infuse Vitality, another Runic Weapon, Sanctuary. Oh, okay. Infuse Vitality. She could buff herself, Mauricio, and Valeros to do an extra D4 damage on all their strikes for 1 minute. That's pretty nice. I might just grab that. I mean, Runic Weapon is good, but... yeah, let's grab Infuse Vitality. It's fun. Okay, so there you go. I mean, we could go rest now and recover and get all our shit back for the big finale, but this one isn't actually the big finale. This is the penultimate fight. So let's just do it. Heroes overcame all challenges through Area 17. They should have enough XP to gain a level. Blah, 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 blah. You might also encourage the party to rest at this point. Yeah, okay. Good. I did it correctly. This might be a very tough fight for the heroes, especially if they haven't reached level 2 yet. We have. A gaping pit opens in the floor in the center of this large natural chamber. On the far side, a ledge overlooks the entry. Whoops. There. Atop this ledge is an ornate stone throne that looks entirely out of place for this room. A regal kobold wearing an oversized crown made of fish bones sits atop the throne. "Kill the intruders!" she snarls at the 2 kobold guards at the foot of the stairs. Okay, we get some more lore about how they stole a dragon's egg and have now hatched it underneath the fishery, and they're feeding it massive amounts of fish. Okay, the pit in this chamber is 20 feet deep. You have to do 2 actions and a DC 15 athletic skill check to jump over it. If you fall, you take 10 damage, and then have to succeed at 2 DC 10 athletic skill checks in a row. The 2 kobold scouts move to either side of the pit to block the heroes from getting to their boss, but they chase any hero who manages to get past them. Meanwhile, Zolgren assaults the group using spells. On her first turn, she spends all 3 actions to cast Force Barrage. She aims at the closest 3 heroes. If anyone gets past her guard, she casts Command on that hero, hoping to make them run away. After that, she'll cast Gouging Claw, attacking with her staff only if she runs out of other options. Okay, I think we have our fight. So let's turn off this little effect. Turn on our combat music. Get everybody involved in this big brawl. lot of dice. Okay, we have our numbers. Begin the encounter. Kobold Scout 1 will go 5, 10, 20. He'll go here. And then he's going to shoot Valeros. Not with a short sword. Crossbow. That is a hit. Against poor Valeros. He does... I said he was always going to have a shield raise at the start. He's preparing. So he will use shield block. Dude, Valeros definitely has raised his shield. What are you talking about? Raise a shield. No, I refuse. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Alright, I'll fucking reset it. If you don't accept it, then why are you showing raise a shield? Valeros does not raise their shield. What are you talking about? Alright, I'll do it fucking manually. I don't care. So we'll subtract 5 from that. And we'll subtract... we'll do 1 damage to my shield. I don't accept your nonsense. He definitely had his shield raised. It's not even, like, applying it. There. Weird. Okay, anyways, then for his third action, he will reload his crossbow, of course. Mauricial. Now, we could, jump across. We could tumble through. But probably... she could tumble through, maybe. Otherwise, just using this opening to get in here before the other scout moves in could be viable. But let's try tumbling. So 5, 10, 15, 20... No, she doesn't actually have enough movement there. 5, 10, 20. Yeah, she does not have enough movement. She'd have to spend 2 actions to tumble through. I guess that's probably okay. So we'll get here, then we'll use our tumble. Tumble through. That is a success, so we will be here. And then we will stab it in the back of the throat. Boom. Hit. 9 damage to the scout. Half dead already. Alright, Ezrin. Ezrin does not have line of sight on the left one, but he is going to use Force Barrage regardless. All 3 actions. So we're going to do 1 of those hits against this little bugger. Boom, nice little animation there. So 2 damage to him. Then we're going to do the other 2. Shablam. Shablam. 4 and 5 damage. Yes, good, yes. Excellent. Alright, Zolgren. Zolgren is going to do a very similar action. Casting Force Barrage. She's got 3 of these bad boys. Cock, lock, and ready to rock. She's going to be doing a similar thing. It says to target 3 heroes each time, so I guess we'll do that. First one against Mauricial for 5 damage. Ow. Valeros. 2 damage. Nothing. And Ezrin. Fellow wizard. 3 damage. Okay. That was its turn. The other scout is going to move here. It's going to target Mauricio with its crossbow. Damn, miss. Okay, and then it's going to swap to its short sword. The other one has not swapped to its short sword. Okay, Kira. I don't know. You'd probably give me line of sight on Mauricio. I mean, you can kind of see it. So we're going to cast Infuse Vitality on all three. So, boom, boom, and boom. And that's targeting the character, not the weapon. So they can actually, she could use her scimitar or crossbow. That's her turn. And then Valeros is going to go. He, of course, is going to take advantage of this flank. Easy. Roll this. Crit. Crit on a 14. Oof. Oof. Look at that damage. 24 damage. Boom. Yeah. Well, there you have it. Quite dead. For his third action, he'll raise his shield again, I suppose. Actually, no, because he could set up a good flank. He was... where? He was here? The 5, 15. So he moved diagonally twice. So his third action, this would be 5, 10, 15, 25. Yeah, okay. He's not going to have his shield raised. He's going to be there instead. Then Mauricio can just move straight over here. Go straight for the kill. Get a crit herself on a 15. Which is going to be 28 damage. Jesus Christ. Well, that's that. And then her third action will be 5, 10, 15. And she'll hide behind this pillar. Not actually hiding, but certainly blocking line of sight. Ezrin, we're just going to do a Force Bolt real quick. For a measly 2 damage. And then we will use Telekinetic Projectile for piercing damage. Now this is not an attack. Yeah, right. So it's got a nice hit there. 21. Roll damage. 2d6. Solid enough for our purposes. Okay. And I think we're going to... This is pretty easy. Zolgren will use Force Barrage again. Or, yeah, he'd have to move to use Command here. I guess that's probably what he'll do. So he'll move, yeah, here. And then he's going to target her with Command. So she has to make a DC 20 will save. She does not. So she's going to have the fleeing condition. On her turn, she must spend each of her actions trying to escape the source of the fleeing condition as expediently as possible. Okay, yeah, I mean, that's a good effect for his purposes. Her purposes. Alright, Kira is going to, what's the range on this crossbow? 120 feet. Okay, she'll just stand where she is then. Shoot. Miss by 1. Damn. Alright, then she'll reload and desperately try again. Hey! Hit! And with that vitality, extra few damage. Nice. 2 damage? Why is it 2 damage? Unaffected by vitality. Oh. That's why. Okay, I thought vitality was like holy damage or something, but no, it's literally just like life energy. So that's only useful against undead or something. Then that's definitely not as useful. Yeah, it says this damage typically damages only undead. Okay, definitely not as useful. But at least I wasn't cheating. I mean, the system accounted for that. I was just an idiot. Okay, 5, 10, 15, 20. Oh, actually, he'll just sudden charge. There you go. Crit. It's over. It's all over. Boom. Dead. Easy peasy. Chopped off her head real good. Okay. That's the encounter. So that's 100 more XP just for that little battle. If you're level 1 when they defeat this encounter, they each gain a bonus 40 XP. Yeah. Okay, there's an old, rusty chest here. And we get the smoking sword. It's a +1 magic long sword. Any hit with this sword deals 1 extra fire damage. And you can a special action while holding it to command the blade's edges to light on fire. Until the end of your turn, deals 1d6 extra fire damage. After you use this action, you can't use it again for 10 minutes. Well, obviously that's going to go on Boleros. Although, he already has a +1 longsword. We could give that to Kira. Masquerade Scarf lets you use Masquerade. Illusory Disguise. So we'll give that to Maricial. Not fleeing anymore. Healing Potion. Wand of Heal. Can go to Kira. And some crap. Oh, you have to find the key on Zolgren. Wonder if that's in her inventory or not. It is, yeah. Well, we're pretending we found it. Okay, you can play the Wormling Growl distant sound effect so players know what they have. Yeah, there you go. Alright. Do we go rest at this point and recover everything? It probably is the smarter plan. Well, it assuredly is the smarter plan. The smoking sword doesn't have... I thought this was a +1. It's just a mat. No. Oh yeah, I guess it isn't. It's not a +1. It just has that effect. No, it says +1 magic longsword. Any hit with this sword deals 1 extra fire damage. Which is probably, yep, so it's mentioned there. Okay, so it doesn't have the potency rune to make it +1 on attack rolls. Instead, it has the +1 fire damage. So, yeah, +1 weapons don't just give you everything automatically anymore. Hitting is probably more important than doing extra damage, so I don't know if I'm actually going to use it. But I don't think Kira can use it to full benefit either. No, she's not trained in martial weapons. So, I don't know if anyone's going to use it. Oh well. So, I mean, yeah, we have, like, no spells. We have no spells whatsoever. We have 2 characters that are nearly useless. But god damn it, it seems so wrong to just go and leave a dungeon. This is really like fucking Dark Souls mentality or something. If you're not doing it in as hard of a possible way as you can, then you're not really doing it. So fuck it, we're just going in. Valeros is gonna use a healing potion to heal 4. And he's gonna have his shield raised. See how that doesn't do anything? That no longer automatically applies it, and I don't know why exactly, except that maybe we're out of combat. But there you have it. Okay, we enter into this weird mushroom den. Towering yellow mushrooms cover the floor of this vast cave, some reaching over 10 feet in height. They seem to emit a pale light, giving the entire chamber an eerie glow. Shattered remnants of barrels, torn open with their contents nowhere to be seen, lay scattered around the base of the mushrooms. Somewhere off on the far side of the chamber, something stirs, and a faint snarl comes from the shadows. Yeah, I don't think we'd climb any mushrooms. We would just keep moving forward slowly, seeing what we see. And then once we get to this point, maybe this is how we'd position. A green horned dragon leaps into view. And although the beast isn't much larger than you, large leathery wings and snapping jaws make the hatchling look like an ancient worm. The creature gazes at you with cunning eyes and snorts a cloud of yellow vapor. With a fierce roar, the dragon charges forward to attack. Oh, maybe Mauricio is gonna be hiding over here, and she'll roll stealth instead. Let's finally implement that concept. Okay, so this is a juvenile horned dragon. It does have poison breath, which is pretty bad, but it's young and doesn't have much experience, so it doesn't try and catch all the heroes with poison breath. It just focuses on the nearest one to use it. And then it can't use it again for 1d4 rounds until they get a critical hit on a strike. And it does have a reaction. It does have an opportunity attack. So we need to keep that in mind. But let's just do it. We're level 2. We can handle this shit. So Mauricio is going to roll... hold on. Let's have her roll stealth for hers. Okay, not too amazing. Then everyone else is going to roll perception. We had 3 people tie, including the dragon. That's interesting. Enemies win ties. Jeez. That's rough. Okay. Yeah, enemies win ties. Wait a minute. Why would it... Oh god, my eyes are terrible. Okay. So, Mauricio and the Dragon tied. Valeros got an 18. I thought it was a 16 for some reason. So, the Dragon will go before Mauricio. Which means she's not going to get the off-guard bonus. Alright, so Valeros will go first. He's obviously going to move up. And he'll take a wild swing. He rolled a fucking 18. Has a 20 AC, so it's so close to a crit. It would have been awesome. Would have been such a great start to the fight. Fortunately, it's going to be like 5 damage. And then he'll raise his shield again. Because that's going to be important. Also, this thing probably should have gotten this reaction. When a creature within 10 feet. Actually, I don't know. He was, what, here? Are we counting that as within 10 feet? I guess we are. So, it's going to make a tail strike with a -2 penalty to Valeros. Oh, and if it hits, it'll actually stop moving. Oh, you rolled a 2. Definitely a miss. Okay, we're good. And I didn't even begin the encounter. Okay, now the dragon's gonna go. It's gonna start by using its poison breath. Why would it not? It's a 30-foot cone, 5d6 poison damage, DC 21 reflex. Jesus. So this is the cone. Sad to say, that's really shitty for us. But that's the cone. Okay, so let's do 5d6 poison. Okay, fairly low roll, fortunately. 15. And now this option, this one didn't give me the option to roll their save. Alright, so Ezrin. No, hold on. Ignore that. This is Ezrin. Ezrin failed, so he takes the full 15 damage. And it's very easy for this to crit, by the way. Hira succeeded. Thank God. Takes half that. And then Valeros. Damn, also a failure. He takes the full 15. Ow! That really fucking hurt. So that was, that was 2 actions. Can't use it again for 3 rounds. We'll try to remember that, I suppose. So on round 4, he can use it again. Unless he gets a crit on a strike. He can't do Draconic Frenzy, so instead, he's just going to... he's just gonna claw. At his full benefit here. Plus, no, stop that. Okay, you rolled a 2, thank God. Oh, Valeros could have blocked it, right? With his reaction. so let's undo that 15 damage. He's gonna block instead. I feel like that broke his shield. It did. But probably worth it. Maybe. Maybe. Okay, this thing is no joke. Mauricial is going to... We need to get a flank going here. You could try and tumble through, or she could just move all the way around. Let's see, it's 5, 10, 15, 25. 5, 10, 15, 20, yeah, that. Okay. Good. This will help a lot. Except when you roll a 4 and you miss. Damn it! It's alright, it's all about Valeros. He'll make it count. Kira has nothing. She has nothing. She's going to fire a crossbow, reload, and fire a crossbow, and it's going to suck. It's basically going to be shit. It's not going to do anything. This is what we got. But there's always a chance. Okay, she reloads. Pretty close to a 20 on the imaginary dice roll. Okay, Ezrin. We're gonna pretend that we did focus pool, because that would be smart. Oops. So we will cast that at least. Force bolt. Okay, 4 damage is not horrible. Oh god. And then we're going to use... I mean... Its will is probably lower than its AC. So I guess let's just cast Daze. +9 on the roll. Jesus. Well, that didn't do shit. Alright, Valeros. You've got no shield. It's all coming down to this big Mamma Jamma attack. You might also want to use a healing potion. Oh yeah, aggressive block. I should have fucking made it off guard. Guess it didn't make much of a difference. But yeah, our first order of business is this attack. Come on. Okay, well, it's a hit. It's mostly what we care about. It's a decent hit. 8 damage. God, this thing is beastly. 43 health to go. He can't raise a shield, so there's not a whole lot we can do. We're definitely not going to be tripping this thing. Assuming... I don't know what size it is. I feel like it would say that. It's some spot. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it would say it at some spot. But either way, it's a 21 reflex. And his athletics is 8 now. It's a decent chance of tripping it, I suppose. We'll consider that. But for now, Valeros is going to swig his healing potion. To heal 3. Not on the fucking dragon. And then his third action will be to could swing again. I mean, we have him kind of here. +6. He's got an 18, so yeah, we need a 12. And that's probably worth it. Boom. second hit. For another 8 damage. Okay, not too bad. But now the dragon goes. It can't poison breath, but it will draconic frenzy. Which is pretty bad. 2 claw strikes and 1 tail strike in any order. And I believe it gets the full attack penalty. Yeah. So it's gonna start with a claw, which is a crit. So he actually gets his poison breath back, which is horrible. But Valeros does have no. No. Oh no, he had that thing from the water that let him nullify a crit. Fuck! There's nothing. He's got nothing. He's got no shield, he's got nothing. So he's just taking this, and taking a lot of it. 22 damage. He's barely clinging on. And that was the first claw strike. So he'll do the second attack as a tail. Miss. Thank God. And then he'll do the third one as a claw. Miss. Jesus. Whew, boy. Then he has 1 action left. I don't know if you can make a 4th attack. I've never heard any mention of the multiple attack penalty past 3. So, oh no, it's -10 on all subsequent attacks. Okay, so he can. So I guess he'll do another claw attack. And that one will hit. God damn it. And yeah, he's gonna be dropped. Okay, so that gives us dying 1. So he's now down. Which is bad, because now we're no longer flanking. So we lose that entire benefit. There's not much Mauricio can do to fix that. He can try and trip it, but she has to roll like a 16 or higher, which is pretty slim, and that affects her multiple attack bonus. So if she wants to actually hit this thing on this turn, this is her best bet of just swinging. No, I guess she'll go for the trip. Failure. And I fall prone. And now if I want to stand, he gets his reaction to just swipe me with his tail. Fucking Christ, this was mismanaged. So now I either have to swing with an extra -2 penalty, or attempt the op. I guess we're going to stand. So he's going to take his opportunity attack against me. And he rolled a 2, thank God. Okay, then she'll just attempt her attack. +5. Miss, of course, on a 14. It's painful. Kira's gonna go. I don't have much. I have the Wand of Heal, though. So that's good. So I guess she'll spend an action to swap her crossbow to the Wand of Heal. And then she'll use heal. Boom, 17 health. He's back in the game. He's back in the game. So I believe, you know, going back to hit points, health and dying rules. I think he's just awake. He's just prone on the ground. Yeah, I believe so. So he is not blinded. Oh no, he's not unconscious anymore. Stop it! Prevented by dying one. He's not. Oh. There. Now he's not dying. So now he's just prone. Which is bad enough. Okay. So that was 2 actions on her part. I guess her third action would be to swap back to her crossbow. Her unloaded crossbow. Ezrin does not have much left. I guess he's gonna, like, move here to prevent any sort of poison shenanigans. And then he'll shoot out a telekinetic projectile. Crit! Yeah, boy! 10 damage to the dragon. That's very nice. Okay. Now, I believe your reaction comes back at the start of a round. It's not like the start of your turn. I think. Says you can use 1 reaction per round. Yes, that's true information. That does not tell me what I want to know, actually. You only get 1 reaction per encounter round. Yeah, but I need to know. If you don't use your reaction, you lose it at the start of your next turn. You typically then gain a reaction at the start of that. Okay, so it is. You gain a reaction at the start of your turn. And you don't get another one until the start of your turn. So the dragon does not have a reaction at this point. Good. Then Valeros is going to stand. He's going to swing with his sword. for a hit. Good. Excellent. And he's going to use his other... Wait, how did I not give him another healing potion? Who has all the healing potion? I gave 2 of them to Mauricio? No, that would not... No. Hold on. That's not happening. That never happened. This would not occur in a real scenario. So, fuck you. Okay. There you go. Alright. The dragon's gonna go. The dragon did recharge its poison breath. And this is where you'd make a crucial decision as a DM. This is a very... If you're a new DM, new players, this is a very crucial decision. A junction, if you will, to determine how much of a dick of a DM will you be for the rest of your DMing career. Because you have several options for this creature. And unlike, say, Gloomhaven, where things are very predetermined, you know, there's no sort of decision to be made on, like, a DM's part. Everything is programmed, you know. But here, you are in control of this monster. You make decisions for the monster and what it does. And that has an impact on potentially, you know, the enjoyment of your players and how they feel about the game. And some players certainly don't want you to pull any punches. They want you to be as brutal as you can based on the rules of the game and all that. And you know, they want you to be as vicious as possible so that they have the biggest challenge and they can overcome it. Sure. Other players never want to have their characters die, ever. And they will be greatly upset if it happens. Again, I mean, maybe that's in the minority as well. And maybe most players are somewhere in the middle. They want the risk of death, potentially, but they still want to overcome it without just being beaten down. So what I'm talking about here is the fact that this dragon basically has 3 options. One is using Draconic Frenzy, okay, which is a very potent action. 2 claw strikes and 1 tail strike. We could certainly eviscerate any one character. And if I was really dickish, I mean, we could just use all of it on one character and basically just kill them, if that's what we wanted to do. But otherwise, we could kind of spread it amongst these 2 characters, however we might do it. So that's an option. The other option, then, is the Poison Breath, which was recharged on a crit. So it has Poison Breath again. And it could do this, because the DM could say that, you know, it was facing Mauricio and it's just going to target Mauricio because it doesn't know any better, and just shoot off this Poison Breath and call it a day. Alternatively, it could target, say, the last person that just hit it, which would be Valeros, and it could shoot back this way again. And even though Ezran did try and move out of the way, he didn't move far enough. So this would hit all 3 of those characters again. Very likely dropping 2 of them. Maybe 3 of them. And in which case, if it drops all 3 of them, the fight is basically over. Like, very little chance that Mauricio will be able to prevail. If Valeros is still standing afterwards, I think the 2 of them probably will drop the dragon on their turns. But that's a risk you take as a DM when you make that decision, because this very well could determine the fight. Whether the players at the end of this adventure are victorious or are all dead. Or maybe, you know, multiple of them are dead. So that, again, it's kind of a junction for you as a DM to decide, like, how much sort of fangs you want to have when you're running combat. Because this isn't pre-programmed. This isn't pre-decided a lot of the time. You are controlling these things. For me, you know, for myself, I tend to be a little harsher, I guess. If this were my family, yeah, maybe I'd be a little kinder. And I'd probably do... I don't know, Draconic Frenzy is not that kind. Depending on how you divvy up the attacks and if it crits or not, you know, it's potentially just as bad. Poison Breath against Mauricial is certainly the best, nicest option. But we're going to go the full Poison Breath and just make it happen, you know? So let's roll the 5d6. Okay, pretty light. Very light. That was out of my control. But there you go, very light. And then they each have to roll their reflex saving throws. Oof. Oof. Okay, Valeros succeeded. That was the most important one. So Valeros takes half damage. Ezrin critically failed, so he takes 22 damage. He's out of it, man. And Kira just takes the 11. Okay. All in all, still pretty bad, but I think that was kind of best case scenario. It didn't look ineffectual. It certainly didn't look like a weak option for the dragon to do. But it also does not end the fight. Ezrin is down, so he's dying. Kira is actually still up. She's got a good amount of health. And Valeros is still up. So that was, yeah, I think that was a good choice for us. As players, as DM, it worked out. He does, of course, get another action. So he's going to go ahead and just bite or claw Valeros. He rolled low, thankfully, to avoid a crit here. But he rolled pretty high on that for 14. And so Valeros is at 3 health. Good. As long as he's still standing, it's all okay. Okay, Mauricial. Mauricial's finally going to activate this because I'm going to remember. So all melee strikes dealing 2 extra damage until the start of their next turn. So this is one of her actions. So we're just going to use that. Then she's going to target this with the +9. Crit. I think we got this in the bag. We rolled a natural 20. This is very ideal. And we were going to add just 2 untyped damage on top of that. Look at that formula for damage. Okay. Quite a lot of damage. Sliced its throat clean open. Killed this poor little juvenile dragon. And that's the encounter. Whew. Little close there, a little dicey, but overall quite exciting. And that's listed as a moderate encounter, which is kind of wild. But that's, again, mostly due to action economy. And that's why they give this dragon stuff like Draconic Frenzy and things like that, where it can combine a bunch of attacks into one. Because that makes it far more dangerous than just like a single, you know, beefy unit that just has its 3 actions. Yeah, so there you go. Encounter over. And then Kira would go over here and, you know, make sure... You'd probably want to stabilize him first, I suppose. And she has the stabilize spell she can cast. So you do that. Cast stabilize. He's no longer unconscious. And then we would use treat wounds. Treat his wounds. There you go, and then heal for that amount, just to get him on his feet, blah, 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 and then he would no longer be prone, and so on and so forth. Oh, you're actually supposed to give everybody 120 XP for defeating the dragon. So they did bump it up. The ledge in the northeast corner of the room holds the treasure the kobolds offered to the dragon. The heroes can catch a glimpse of the treasure, even from the floor, but you have to succeed on a DC 15 athletics skill check. Dude, Valeros, no problem. No problem, man. Actually, he should have done assurance. Alright, he's fine. He's up there. He's got the treasure. Look at this. A giant emerald that vaguely looks like the dragon's eye. 20 gold pieces out of that. 18 gold pieces. 63 silver. 429 copper. Oh, boy. Big time rewards for finishing the adventure. And without doing that rest. That was pretty close. Back of the Mushroom Grotto is a tunnel leading to a long, winding passageway. If the heroes explore this way, they find it gently slopes upward, and they can feel a fresh breeze coming from this direction. After following this path for over an hour, they emerge from a small cave in a ravine outside the town of Otari. Remnants of a camp around the cave's entrance indicate that the kobolds had stayed here for some time before heading under the town to work their mischief. With a lot of courage and a bit of luck, the adventurers hopefully survived their encounter with the kobolds and their pet, returning to the town as triumphant heroes. Tamily feels truly relieved to learn that the threat is gone, especially after learning just how dangerous it was. Over the coming weeks, news of the heroes' exploits travel all across town, and soon they receive opportunities for more adventuring work. Such adventures are up to you, the GM, to determine. There's also then a follow-up to this called Troubles in Otari, which is a bit more kind of varied, different locations and stuff. And there's also the Abomination Vaults Adventure Path, which is a bit longer of a campaign kind of thing. And I want Abomination Vault is probably on Foundry. It sure is. It was last updated a week ago. When the mysterious Gauntlight, an eerie landlocked lighthouse, glows with baleful light, the people of Otari know something terrible is beginning. Town's newest heroes must venture into the ruins around the lighthouse and delve the dungeon levels far beneath it to discover the evil the Gauntlight heralds. Hideous monsters, deadly traps, and mysterious ghosts all await the heroes who dare to enter the sprawling mega dungeon called the Abomination Vaults. That does sound pretty fun solo, because I imagine it's mostly combat. More than 200 hours worth of adventure. Jesus Christ. Damn. There's some badass looking monsters here. Holy shit. What the fuck is that? Sort of behemoth creature. This is pretty sweet. You know, I was thinking of having Lego and I do Kingmaker. But I wonder if this would just be better because it's more dungeon crawl and stuff rather than all the kingdom management things. Maybe. It's also definitely a lot cheaper than Kingmaker. It's only $60 for the module. While Abomination Vaults contains typical Pathfinder action and adventure, it also presents themes of suicide, ableism, body horror, and human experimentation. Sounds awesome. Anyways. So, yeah, that was about 6 hours for us to get through Menace under Otari. Not too bad. Not too bad considering, you know, I kind of had to... I have to control all the characters, blah, blah, blah. But, there's definitely a handful of modules that make it a lot easier. You know, this bar up here which I don't even remember what this mod is called. I don't know if that's the tool belt or I think it's token action HUD actually. Yeah, token action HUD. So that's a huge one. Definitely. I mean, that should probably just be part of Pathfinder system on here. That saves a lot of time, so I don't have to keep opening up people's character sheets over and over and over just to swing their sword. So, if nothing else, get that. But other things that save some time, the tool belt, so that you can just automatically apply damage to the target rather than having to constantly keep clicking. That helps quite a bit. Other things aren't super necessary, but are just kind of nice to have. The XP awarding, that's pretty handy for both GM and players. Yeah, I would say those are kind of the main one. But yeah, so overall, I think the system's actually pretty sweet, and I say that as far as like a tactical role-playing game system. Like if you're very interested in combat and character customization and all that, I think this is pretty damn sweet. Now, how is it outside of combat and like actually playing it as more of like a role-playing system? I don't know. And I wouldn't ever be able to really know that until I play it. Or at the very least DM for like a group of people. And then the other question is, how does it actually play on a table without some of the niceties of Foundry? Some of these numbers seem kind of crazy. I mean, what was that damage formula that... Yeah, look at this. So 1d6 because of her sword, plus 4 because of her dex mod, plus 1d6 sneak attack. Okay, and then the vitality thing you could just completely ignore, I suppose. And then you just double that. Okay, so that wasn't that complicated. I think overall, 2nd edition has done a lot to streamline and simplify numbers so that you're not just getting like 20 different, number buffs from all these different sources and things like that. So it's fairly simple. And then, yeah, critting, so you double it. It's simple. Would I play this with, like, my family? The thing is, they don't care about reading books, and they don't care about looking over all their options and trying to min-max or anything like that. They don't care about any of that shit. So they would be perfectly happy with just pre-generated characters. And, like, before the campaign, they would just kind of tell me what kind of character they want to play. And with most of them, I could just already guess. And then I would just go to, like, Path Builder and make their character at level 1. And then at level 2, I would just level them up, bump all their numbers up, and then pick, a new feat that I think they would like. And then that would be on. And if you don't get into multi-classing or any of the other sort of complicated dedication feats and things like that, I mean, your level ups are not complicated. And if you don't look into all the other books and stuff, there's not that many options, as we saw. So it wouldn't really be a big deal to just level up their characters for them and just keep doing pre-gen stuff. So that would be fine. And then I guess the actual combat. It's not really a difficult system to, like, rock. And a lot of the time, you're just not going to have that many options on your turn, which they don't mind. Believe me, they definitely do not mind that. I have multiple players that would be very happy playing Valeros. But I think I'd like to say that even they could kind of grasp the idea of not just swinging 3 times. You know, they would get the idea of raising your shield as an action. I think if you get into reactions and your options for reactions, but there aren't that many, and depending on how you build a character. And from what I know of the people in my group that would play somebody like Valeros, I think they would understand, like, okay, you have 1 reaction per turn. You can either swing at somebody when they move. You can they know opportunity attacks at this point, so they'd get that. Or if you get hit, you can block it with your shield and lower the damage by 5. Yeah, and then like the extra stuff, like tripping and stuff like that. There's not that many of those kind of actions. So I would certainly explain like the benefit of tripping and say, if you invest into athletics, that's a strong option. But you do have to have a hand free usually, unless you pick a tripping weapon. So I don't think they'd really struggle too much with the basic combat rules and stuff like that. The only concern that I would have of playing on a physical table would be just the amount of rolls involved. You've got characters. You're striking, so you're rolling once. You might roll damage after that. Then you might trip as a second thing, and you're rolling for that. But you have to keep in mind the multiple attack penalty on that. And then the third action, maybe you might do some other thing that rolls some other thing, who knows what. It does seem like quite a bit of rolling. I feel like combat would be fairly slow with this compared to, I don't know, Shadow of the Demon Lord or something. So, I don't know. That's why Foundry does make things a lot faster. I can just click, 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 done. Because especially, when you have somewhat newbie players, dice rolls take a while. They have to, shake it up, but they gotta roll it, they gotta wait for it to stop rolling, blah, blah, blah. Then they're like peer over and they're looking at the number, and then they're like, okay, I rolled this, and then they look at their sheet, and then they look back at the number, and then they look back at their sheet. And they're like, okay, and then that's gonna be this plus this. Okay, I rolled a 17. Oh, well, you hit. Okay, let me get these dice. Which one is the dice? Okay, it's this one. And I roll this, and then we repeat the whole process. So, yeah, it takes a while. Certainly. And there's just not many ways around that. So... yeah, I mean, ideally, I suppose I'd have a savvy enough group that we'd have, like, we'd play at a table, but we'd have a display in the middle of the table showing the Foundry thing, and then everybody would have, like, tablets that connected to Foundry right there, or laptops, and then everybody could just do that, and we'd basically just be playing digitally, but we'd all be sitting around a table. That would probably be the most ideal, because then everything is just handled through a system that automatically rolls and does math for you and all that kind of stuff. That would be the most ideal, but I don't think my group will ever do that. So I'm iffy. And that's why I'm leaning more towards 13th Age, because it's just kind of a simpler system overall with less rolling and kind of more just thematic and narrative. And the big appeal of Pathfinder is the character customization, which they wouldn't get any benefit out of, really. So, yeah, I'm iffy on that. And as for like if I actually got back into playing with like a group of friends, I don't think we'd go to Pathfinder Second Edition because we tend to prefer things out of combat. We tend to prefer things looser, more narrative. I prefer more robust magic systems that I can really kind of abuse. And Pathfinder is kind of designed to not be abused. I saw a comment that was like, if you're playing Pathfinder Second Edition and you think you found a loophole, you probably haven't, because it's a very tight system, and so I prefer something like Shadow the Demon Lord, which just kind of gets a little ridiculous with magic, or something even more free form, um, like Dungeon World or something. So I don't know. So yeah, I don't. I like Pathfinder Second Edition, but I'm not quite sure where it fits for me outside of Foundry. And I think probably quite a few people feel that way. So I don't know. I'm gonna play this adventure with Lego. We may do more after that if we like it. Um, I may do some more solo stuff with Pathfinder because it kind of works, like just for interesting tactical combat and stuff. I mean, these are all very basic characters we have here, but much like Wrath of the Righteous or something, we could come up with some fun, interesting groups of characters and go through some of these adventures that are kind of combat focused. It's possible. But anyways, for now, this has been Menace under Otari from the Pathfinder 2nd Edition Beginner Box on Foundry Virtual Tabletop. And I will see you fine folks around.